Good morning, everyone. I'm going to start our next book in the Dragon Master series, and it's called Saving the Sun Dragon. Show you the front, read the back. Discover the secret of the Dragon Stone. Drake is a Dragon Master. He and the other Dragon Masters, Anna, Rory, and Bo, train dragons for the king. When Anna's dragon, Capri, becomes sick, everyone must work together to save her. Did dark magic make her sick? Does Worm have a new secret power that could help her? The Dragon Masters are about to find out. Chapter 1, Dragons in the Sky. Drake shaded his eyes from the sun. He was standing in the valley of clouds behind King Roland's castle. Not long ago, Drake had never been to the castle, but now he lived here, and he had an important job. He was a Dragon Master, someone who had been chosen by the Dragon Stone to work with dragons. Above him, 3 dragons flew in the bright blue sky. Griffith, the wizard who taught the young Dragon Masters, watched as the dragons practiced flying. Vulcan, a big red fire dragon, flew across the valley. He shot a burst of fire into the air. "Nice one," yelled his Dragon Master, Rory. She had hair as red as Vulcan's flames. Shu, a beautiful blue water dragon, didn't have wings. She glided through the air, riding the wind. Bo, her Dragon Master, watched her with a peaceful smile on her face. The best flower was the yellow and white sun dragon, Capri. She looped and swirled in the air, then a rainbow streamed from her mouth. It arched across the sky. Capri's Dragon Master, Anna, danced on the grass below her dragon. Her long black hair swayed behind her. Drake's dragon, Worm, was not like the other dragons. He was an earth dragon with a long brown body. He couldn't fly, but Drake had just learned Worm could move things with the power of his mind. What other amazing things can Worm do? Drake wondered. He knew he had even more to learn about his dragon. It feels good to be outside, right, Worm? Drake asked. The green dragon stone around Drake's neck tingled a bit. He smiled. Each of the Dragon Masters wore a piece of the stone. It helped them connect with and train their dragons. When the stone glowed, Drake knew that he and Worm had a very strong connection. Drake could sometimes hear Worm's voice inside his head when they were connecting, but the other Dragon Masters' stones had not glowed yet. Drake looked back at the sunny sky. Capri's whole body shone with light. Then Drake understood. "Oh, I get it. Capri has light powers because she's a sun dragon, right?" Drake asked the other Dragon Masters. Rory snorted. "Of course that's why. It's just like how fire dragons have fire powers and water dragons have water powers." Rory could be friendly sometimes, thought Drake, and other times she's not friendly at all. His face turned red. "I'm still learning," he said. "I haven't been a Dragon Master as long as you." Rory, Bo, and Anna had already been training for weeks when Drake got to the castle. He still felt like he had a lot of catching up to do. Above them, Vulcan swooped down from the sky, showing off and shooting another stream of fire. It hit the ground right next to Griffith, and the grass burst into flames. The wizard jumped to the side. Careful there, Vulcan, Griffith called out. He pointed his finger at the fire. Water flowed from his fingertip and the flames went out. Drake's eyes grew wide. I will not get tired of seeing wizard magic, he said to Bo, who was standing beside him. Bo nodded. Drake looked over at Worm. The dragon's eyes glowed bright green. That's strange, thought Drake. His eyes glow when he's using his powers. What could he be using his powers on right now? Worm was staring up at the sky. Drake followed his gaze. Worm was looking at Khepri, high up in the air. Her white wings had stopped flapping. Worm must have sensed that she was in trouble. Watch out! Khepri is falling! Drake yelled. She is falling. Chapter 2, A Sick Dragon. Anna looked up and started to scream. The other dragon masters also looked to the sky. Griffith pointed a finger at Khepri. I'll try to slow her down, the wizard cried. Lightning sizzled from his finger, but before Griffith could use his magic, a red blur shot across the sky. It was Vulcan, flying faster than Drake had ever seen him fly before. He lunged for Khepri and grabbed her with his front claws. Go, Vulcan! Rory cheered. Vulcan flew in a circle around the valley, slowing down. Then he gently placed Khepri in the grass. So Vulcan saved Khepri from falling. Everyone ran to Khepri. The dragon's eyes were closed. Her breathing was loud and heavy. Anna stroked Khepri's head. Oh, Khepri, are you all right? She asked, her voice shaking. Griffith leaned over Khepri, frowning. I'm afraid she doesn't look well, he said. Anna turned to the wizard. She had seemed a little off since last week when the tunnel caved in. She gets tired easily, and sometimes her eyes look cloudy. I should have said something. Griffith put a hand on her shoulder. It's not your fault, Anna, he said. But are you sure Khepri only started looking sick after that night in the tunnel? Anna slowly nodded her head. Yes, she was fine before then. Drake, Bo, and Rory looked at one another. A week before, they had tried to sneak out of the castle with their dragons. Since King Roland wanted to keep the dragons a secret, most dragon training had to take place underground. The dragon masters only had wanted to get outside to do some night flying. Then a glowing red orb had flown into the tunnel that led to the valley. The red ball of light scared Vulcan, so he tried to get away. His huge body banged into the tunnel walls, and he had made the tunnel cave in. They were trapped. Worm used his mind powers to help them escape. He broke up his big rocks blocking the tunnel, using only his thoughts. Worm had saved them all, but now something was wrong with Khepri. Why did you ask about the cave-in, Griffith? Asked Bo. The red orb worries me, Griffith answered. It must have been made by a dark wizard, as I had feared. And dark magic can make sun dragons sick. So Khepri's illness is connected to that weird ball, asked Anna. And the other dragons are okay because they're not sun dragons? I think so, said Griffith. Do you know any dark wizards? Drake asked with a shiver. No time for tales now, said Griffith with a wave in his hand. Suddenly Rory cried out, Look, Khepri is getting up. The dragon had opened her eyes and was standing on all four legs. She looks well enough to walk back to the dragon caves, Griffith said. Come along. He led the dragon masters and their dragons back toward the tunnel. The tunnel led to the big underground dragon room. There, each dragon had a small cave. This is them going back. She got up. Now they're all walking back to the caves. When they got there, a big man with red hair waited for them. He wore a vest with a gold dragon on it and a metal crown on his head. 2 guards stood behind him. Griffith stopped. "King Roland," he said, what brings you down here?" The king frowned. "What is this I hear about a sick dragon?" I'm going to go on one more chapter. Chapter 3, King Roland's Threat. Drake looked over at his friend Bo. He could tell Bo was thinking the same thing he was. How did the king know of the dragon? One of the dragons was sick. "I have spies hidden in the Valley of Clouds," the king said, as if he had read their minds. "You almost let these dragons escape once, Griffith. I want to make sure that they are ready when I need them." "I understand," Griffith said. Drake remembered that when the tunnel had caved in, Griffith hadn't told the king that the dragon masters had taken the dragons out. Instead, he said the dragons had tried to escape. Griffith had lied to protect the dragon masters. Griffith had only wanted to protect us when he told that lie, Drake thought. But now the king is mad at him instead of us. So I wish you would ask. I will ask you again, Griffith," said the king. "Is one of the dragons sick?" "Yes, your majesty," said Griffith. "There seems to be something wrong with Khepri." All eyes turned to Khepri. Her eyes were cloudy, and her long, graceful neck was drooping. "First, the dragons tried to escape, and now one is sick," said King Roland. "This makes me very unhappy, wizard. You are supposed to know all about dragons. Heal her." "I will look for a cure right away," Griffith promised. "You had better find one soon," King Roland said, his eyes fixed on the wizard. "If not, I will find another wizard." King Roland turned and stormed out of the caves. His guards followed. Drake's stomach did a flip. "Another wizard? What will we do without Griffith?" What do we do now?" Anna asked Griffith, stroking Khepri's head. "I have many books about dragons," the wizard replied. "We will start there." "We? You mean we can help?" Drake asked. "Of course," Griffith said. "Please take the dragons into their caves. Then meet me in the dragon room, or the training room. We must act quickly to save Khepri." That's the king again. That's their little caves. Chapter 4 will be The Wizard's Potion. See you tomorrow. Miss you.